$3,900. That's how much I was able to accumulate and withdraw within the last 2 weeks of every single trade that I took while live streaming inside of my Discord. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be taking everything that I did, breaking it down for you guys, showing exactly how I did it, how you can do it as well. So let's get straight into it. All right, guys, so kicking it off here, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take us back to the previous 2 trades that I took that made and secured my $3,900 payout. And every single one of these trades were taken and called live inside of my Discord in front of hundreds of people. And if that appeals to you, you're looking for transparency, you're looking for learning, growth, money making, all that stuff, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link down in the pinned comment for this video, and I'll see you on the other side. Now, directly after we overview these setups here, show you everything that went into it, everything that I was looking for, all that stuff, I'm going to be breaking down and showing you guys the important part of what really makes up my success. What actually does it take? What did I actually do? What steps did I take to reach my obtainable success? Looking at it here, the first setup we're capitalizing on is I'm going to go ahead and plot my Fibonacci here. As you can see here, here's our midnight opening. We trade below that, classic bullish power 3. That's a discussion for another time. Price slams the upside aggressively, and we're now pricing in a significantly deep premium inside of the marketplace. When I look at this, okay, we're trading up into the 62% retracement level. All right, we have multiple closures at the low end of the 60%, so it's an optimal trend entry price. We're delivering this large fair value gap here, so we're up into a premium imbalance. And we have multiple closures here at the 60%. So whenever I see this, now I want to look, okay, with this massive rally in price, what have we left behind? And if we left behind anything significant in terms of imbalance, liquidity, or fair value, I'm going to look and see if I can capitalize on a scalping opportunity to the downside and go against those who have been buying. So the first thing you're going to notice in this run up here is this significantly large imbalance here. And I would like to see price revert back down into that now that we priced in the optimal trend entry and delivered this premium fair value gap. Okay, so once I map this out, okay, we're now going to drop down to the lower time frames and we're going to get into the real stuff. All right, so down to the 5-minute chart. Okay, the first thing that I want to bring to your attention is the fact that we rise up into this premium array that I have outlined here, and then we create a swing high and slam below this specific up close candle here. This is going to be your very, very classic, notorious changes of state delivery. So once we shift beyond the opening of this up close candle here, I don't need a closure below here. Okay, the minute we trade a tick below the opening of this up candle here with time and price aligning, that to me is a high probability change of the state delivery. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and drop down to the 1-minute chart, because this is where we actually took the setup. On to the 1-minute chart here, what I'm going to be showing you guys is, like I told you, we had a very, very large rally up. But what's taking place here now is we have a very, very inefficient run up into a premium, leaving behind a significant amount of sell stops. So every single time we create a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, I know for 100% guarantee that this thing is stacking up liquidity that is going to eventually be ran out when the time is right. And what I'm showing you guys here is how to know when that time is right. Now, what we're seeing here is we're entering the later portion of that New York session kill zone. Okay, and this is a real important key when I'm looking at this setup here, because I understand that it's 10:30 a.m. and price really does have a strong tendency once we reach 10:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. to have an intermittent term reversal going against those who have been longing. So whenever I see all this left behind, I know that there's sell stops resting below here, 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 and here. So I would like to see if I can frame a setup to actually target those who have their sell stops jammed below all these lows. So every single setup that I take that makes up every single one of the payouts and results that I show you guys is all based on liquidity. That's it. So whenever I'm looking at price here, I'm saying, okay, we drive up into a premium. We're working off of a key level. Okay, we rise up, take out this short-term high here. We drop down, create an intermittent term high here, and then we tap back up into that 5-minute order block that I showed you guys. And now while I'm considering time and price and knowing where the market is likely to draw to next with every single subtle signature I'm seeing here with the intermittent term high formed, we have a change in state delivery, price retraces back up into that order block after creating a market structure shift in price here. So once it does that, right there on the live stream, called it out, everyone inside my group shorted this, and we were looking to target, number one, the sell side liquidity below here, all the stops below here, and that 15-minute imbalance. So we not only have one draw, but we have two. We have the 15-minute inefficiency and the sell side liquidity. All right. So now that we have that out of the way, well, guess what? This is immediately going to fall into setup number 2 now that we delivered this opposing 15-minute imbalance and have efficiently delivered the sell side liquidity all below all these swing lows here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fibonacci tool once again. Here's the low, here's the high. As you can see here, we price in a short-term discount relative to this price leg right here. Okay, so when price trades down to the 79% optimal trade entry level, closes above multiple times, and now we're creating a fractal intermittent term low. We have a swing low here, higher swing low to the left, higher swing low to the right. Following that, we now have price expansion above, creates a fair value gap, price trades back down into that. This here is buying opportunity number 1 right there. Now, let's back it up for a moment. This setup only matters if we know what the draw on liquidity is. Like I told you guys, every single setup that I have is based on liquidity. So, if we're looking to buy here based on this expansion and market structure forming bullish, right? Delivering off this larger, higher time frame 15-minute fair value gap and stops taken, right? If I'm looking to capitalize on this, I need something to target. And in this case here, that's going to be this buy side liquidity high here. So as we drive up into this premium, price that in, price drives down. Okay, and what do a lot of people want to do now? They're going to try and sell this thing on a breakout whenever the market is not poised to sell lower at this moment. And I'm not going to cover that stuff in this video here because it's a whole other topic for another time. It's going to take up about 30 minutes for me to explain that. Now, moving on here, what we're simply looking at is this next buy side liquidity high here. At the moment, whenever we have this expansion above, we're in the 11 a.m. hour. If you take a look here, the 10 a.m. hour, its high, respective high is right here. So just how we view previous daily low and previous daily high as significant targets, we're looking at it intraday as previous hour high, previous hour low. And in this case here, previous hour high is going to be this high probability buy side liquidity target. So whenever we have price creating bullish market structure with this intermittent term low, we have an expansion above, price drops down, fair value gap, buying opportunity number 1. We have a second expansion, so let's say that you missed this move here. You want a part of that. We now have a second expansion, okay, and price now matches this high here, okay? So this becomes all the more high probability because now we're matching the high, getting very close proximity to it, and then trading off. What's this doing? This is engineering and inviting more people to put their buy stops above these clean highs here because they're going to trust that as significant resistance. So whenever I see price drive down here, what are we trading down into? Well, if you're familiar with the breaker pattern, you'll see this low here, high, lower low. So we have a swing low, high, lower swing low, taking out short-term sell side liquidity here. This up close candle is going to be that failed order block within this pattern that makes up the breaker. So when we expand above that, that's a failed order block. We revert down into it. This is allowing those who are on the wrong side to mitigate their loss, okay? And when price drives down into here, this is where smart money is going to be buying in once more. So this is your second opportunity. You're going to be buying here, which the members and I did, and you're going to get covered above previous hour high. And now with this take profit here being delivered, that completes the 2 setups that I took inside of my live stream on Friday. And this is what closed up and secured my almost $4,000 payout from the profits of the previous 2 weeks, all live streamed, 8 trades, 6 winners, 2 losses. And with that said, right after this, I'm going to flip over and I'm going to give you guys 3 key points regarding risk management, psychology, trading, everything. So you've made it to the later segment of this video, the important part, if you will, and just understand, like, look, I can show you all the trading setups in the world. I can tell you what to look for. I can tell you what to do. I can tell you, okay, here's this order block for value gap, but none of that stuff is really going to reach you to that next level and actually give you long-term profitability. The best thing I can possibly relay to you may be rather simple, but it's very, very effective, and it's going to breed longer-term traders and not short-term failures, okay? So number 1, first and foremost, is just understand that learning the concepts is your base. Once you learn the concepts and learn something that works for you and only you, not something that works for someone else on social media, what works for you, you now have your base and foundation, and now the real work following obtaining that model now begins, and that is going to be, how do you conduct yourself on a daily basis? How are you managing your risk? How do you deal with yourself psychologically? Are you impatient? Are you impulsive? Any of the negative traits that you can possibly think of, you need to absolutely get rid of them to make this work. Because if you can't make yourself work, you cannot make the model work, and you need to understand that. You need to be mindful of what you're feeding your mind and your body. So that means your diet. What are you feeding yourself on social media? Who are you looking up to? What are you looking at on a daily basis? What are you feeding your mind? It's all important. And if you really just become mindful of that and switch it up, and feed yourself cleanly, both mentally and physically, there's going to be nothing stopping you from ripping these markets apart if you have a sound repeating model. So just understand that there's a very, very high failure rate inside of the trading community, but understand it's not because the concepts don't work. That doesn't mean that all the day trading strategies you can possibly learn do not work. They all work. You just have to make it work. And understand that more people than not just quit before they even give themselves a chance, and they cannot overcome themselves, and they cannot get over the biggest battle of them all, which is with themselves. So become established in your ways, build consistent habits, have your personal life in order, eat cleanly, feed your mind cleanly, tune out everything and anything that's not educational and that is not going to bring you to the next step. So if it's not serving a purpose in your life, you need to get it out of the way. If it's any bad habit and it's not serving your purpose, it's not going to bring you to the next step, and it's doing nothing whatsoever to benefit you, you get rid of it. That's it. Very, very simple. Okay? Anything that's not serving you a purpose, it needs to go. It is almost 2025. You do not have as much time as you think. Time goes by very, very quickly. You need to utilize it efficiently and understand that you do not have as much time as you think. You need to become established now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Continuously tell yourself that. Do it now. Do it now. Eliminate procrastination. Master yourself. Master the markets. Submit to the process. Submit to time. Be patient. And all the success you can possibly want will free flow straight to you easily.